this story is really, really key. Because if you forget anything else, I want you to remember this story. So here we are. And you can see there's 3 houses. The third house with the yard in the front, I was kicking it up in front of the house with my friends, wearing my Letterman jacket. We're just talking about whatever you talk about in school. And there's like 70 people at that party. And behind me was a driveway, and all of a sudden I heard a big smash. And I turned around, and it was glass. There was glass all over the driveway. And I saw this kid on the floor. Okay? And the second he hit the floor, 10 or 12 other kids surrounded him. And they started beating on him. And what I noticed immediately was that the kid on the ground, his skin was black. And the kids that were beating on him, their skin was brown. You know, and at that second, you know, this is going to happen to you. You see a real situation. The first thing you think is, dang, they got at me. Right? And you're like, whoa. And then in just a couple of seconds, I started thinking to myself, man, that is me. What's going on? This is wrong, you know? So I thought about my mom, my cousin, my sister, my family. What would they do? Because we're proud people, you know, we're fighters. And I'm like, what I was witnessing was wrong. And in that second, I knew I had to do something about it. You know? I didn't know what, but I knew I had to do something. So what did I do? I ran towards the pile. I pushed the first kid out of the way, and I picked the kid up on the ground, and I just figured, keep him awake, Joe, keep him away. You know, I started taking him down towards the main street. As I'm carrying him into the street, these kids are coming around me, and they're still hitting him. I know, it kind of makes you laugh, but then it's really crazy, right? They're hitting him, so now I'm feeling them beat on him. So one of them hit him so hard, I lost my balance, and I let go of him real quick, and I turned to that kid, who's one of the bigger kids. I grabbed him, and I said, he's had enough, he's done! You know, but then I looked into his eyes, and I saw rage. How many people have been so mad they just see red? How many people, right? Right? You know that anger, right? I knew that anger too in Mexico. That's the anger I felt when they took my aunt away. You know, I wanted to hurt somebody. But my mom told me, no, don't do that. Do something good. Bring the light to the darkness, you know? So I guess that's what I was trying to do right here. I was trying to bring light to this darkness and help this person. Because I knew it was wrong. So I went back to the kid and I picked him up. And I'm taking him back in the street. And a car came at that second. Door flew open. I threw the kid in the car. Shut the door. They drove away. And I turned around. And who's standing there, right? 10, 12 gang members. They're all looking at me, and I'm kind of looking at them. And here's what you have to take away if you forget everything else. Remember this. In your life, you're going to have fear. You're going to have to face fear. They're going to try to control you with fear. Okay? But you cannot be afraid. In that moment, for the first time in my life, I was not afraid. I stood there and I looked at every one of those kids and I said, what's up? Right? I mean, they're out there trying to take a life. I'm out there trying to save a life. I wasn't there to attack them. And in those few seconds, they looked at me and they're like, what's up? And I guess they figured, he's all right. One of them said, he's cool, let's go. So they took off. So they ran away before the cops could come. I went back to the house, right? Remember, there's a party going on. There's like 60 people in that party. Music's on, people just dancing, doing whatever. And I'm covered in blood. And I'm thinking, what's wrong with us? What's wrong with us? Someone's dying in the street, people are partying in the house. What's wrong with that? You know what I mean? Because people are scared. If 70 people, 60 people came out of that house, what do you think would have happened to those 12 kids, or 10 kids? They would have been like, oh shoot, too many people were out. But only one person went out. But thankfully, one was enough. That kid didn't die that night. You know? So, remember that. Because I know you're going to be scared. I mean, some of you have fear now. Don't be afraid. Okay? Stand for what you believe in, no matter what. Okay? What are we doing now? We're taking this to schools all over LA initially to start. That's why we're recording this here today. Okay? We're going to start sharing it with other people. And hopefully we'll get more people to believe in us and help us reach other schools. So we can reach kids like you and help you along your way, just wake you up a little bit. You know, because I know you guys can do something wonderful in your lives if you just push for it and believe in it. Okay?